Hi everyone, this is the recording today and it can't be live because I was having connection difficulties. So I'm going to do it as a recording and same great information. So I am coming to you from Florida. I'm sitting still. As you can see, the cars going past me. I'm sitting still. So this is a safe route right now. So I am Yvette McQueen, MD, emergency physician and travel doctor, a global physician on a mission to educate about health, travel wellness, and disease prevention. So today is the last day for the diabetes awareness talk, the Diabetes 101. I'm talking about lifestyle modifications. So last week I talked about a lot when I threw in a lot of the nutrition information. That has to do with a lot of your modifying your lifestyle. So changing your lifestyle, basically changing your lifestyle for a better life and for control of your diabetes. Recap. So let's recap. Diabetes is where your glucose is not controlled in your body due to either not having enough insulin or the insulin is not acting appropriately, which is basically type 2. You're either taking medications or an insulin pump. You need to regulate your blood sugars and not have it out of control too much, which means over 120, so that it does not affect your blood vessels and break them down. And it'll affect your heart, your blood vessels, your kidneys, your eyesight, your limbs, your fingers and toes, things like that, your circulation. So you want the glucose to stay steady and under control. So that's why we talk about it. So lifestyle modification, and that's basically just changing your life. You know, when I talked about nutrition, I didn't say diet. Because a diet, people think, oh, I'm not going to eat something for a while and then I'm going to hit my goal and then I'm gonna start all over again. And that's how people have what we call yo-yo diets. So it's about modifying your life for a better life. So when we talked about nutrition, we talked about the carbohydrates. So the carbohydrates you eat is turned into simple sugars and glucose. And I talk about complex carbohydrates, using brown rice instead of white rice, using wheat bread instead of white bread. I talked about having half of your plate should be vegetables, and they should be colorful. Sorry. And also, I talked about how your meat should fit in the palm of your hand, or should be the size of a deck of cards, only 4 ounces. Those are modifications you change. Modify how you eat, what you eat, when you eat. That all makes a difference for lifestyle modifications. But some other modifications you need to think about in your life is your activity. Fortunately, in the United States, we have a sedentary lifestyle. And even though you see people talk about fitness in the gym and back and forth, we still have a increased sedentary lifestyle compared to some other countries. So you need to increase activity in your life. Once again, a diary. Remember I talked about the weekly diary? So when I talked about nutrition, I said write down everything you eat and put in your mouth for a week. Guess what? For a week, write down everything you do as far as it comes to activity. And then you'll know how much activity. Because a lot of us in the big cities, we drive a lot. We'll be in the car for 30, 40 minutes driving back and forth to work. You see people behind me biking. That's because, like I said, I'm down here in Florida. I'm next to the water. People like biking next to the water. But is that a normal thing for you as far as your transport? Are you walking to the bus? Are you walking to the train? How much walking do you do? How many steps do you do? So there's no science to this. Hasn't been any science proven, but someone once came out and said 10,000 steps a day will give you enough walking or steps to get you going. And then you actually go, oh, I made my 10,000. Maybe tomorrow I'll make my 12,000. So if you get a pedometer, you can get the ones that you clip on your belt, or actually your cell phone. Your cell phone turns into a pedometer. There's a health feature on most cell phones, either iPhone or Android. There's a health app. Sign up for that health app, and you don't have to sign up. You just sign in to the health app, And it will monitor, if your phone with you all the time, which most people are, it'll monitor your steps. So you'll know how many steps you do in each day. Because I know that when I'm flying, I do more steps, of course, Atlanta Airport, one terminal, next terminal, one terminal, next terminal. But sometimes I find out if I'm not working and I'm sitting at home, I'm not walking as much. I may only get maybe 5,000 steps that day. So I have to actually be more active and say, let me go walk around my neighborhood, or let me go to the mall and walk, or go somewhere and get more steps. So one activity is increasing your steps per day, 10,000 steps per day. Try to actively do that every day, or get as close to 10,000 steps and see how you feel, see how that makes a difference. And then for a week, and then you do it for a month, and then you go on from there, okay? But remember, for a week, write down all your activities so that you know what you do, how long you're sitting, how long you're in a car, are you actually active. When it comes to actual cardio activity, physically cardio, you see the guy running? Yeah, cardio activity. It can be cardiac, where your heart increases the blood supply. So if your heart rate, and everyone should know what their heart rate is, their normal heart rate. And I tell people, when you take your heart rate, you see where your thumb is? Right next to your thumb is a little groove right there. Put your 2 fingers there, and you can check your heart rate. And you count it for 1 minute, for a full minute, to see what your normal heart rate is. Of course, we like people's heart rate to be between 60 and 100. It depends on if you're on medication. Sometimes it's lower. Your heart rate should not be over 100 if you're an adult. But when you having activity, you have physical activity, what we call cardio or cardiac activity. For physical activity, it's supposed to increase by 20%. So most people do go over 100, but then if you wait for 1 or 2 minutes, it's going to come back to normal. The bad part is if your heart rate goes over 100 and you waiting 2 to 3 minutes after you stop, like jogging or on a treadmill, and it doesn't return to normal, you should see a physician and have that looked at. Side note. So increase your activity, your cardio activity. So cardiac activity, you should have 30 minutes each day, or 1 hour 3 times a week. And that's actually increasing your heart rate. So sometimes that's, when I talk about your steps, that's good. Sometimes that's vigorous walking, though, because you're getting a heart rate up. You want to get your heart rate up. One of the ways of walking to get your heart rate up is pumping your arms. You walk like this. Pumping your arms. Pumping your arms. Pumping your arms. You walk real fast. Or as some people like to do interval, like, so for 2 minutes you're walking, and then 1 minute you're walking real fast. 2 minutes you're walking, 1 minute you walk real fast, and do that for 30 minutes, and that will increase your heart rate. Another, of course, of jogging, other activity, different things like increasing your activity around the house, chores, vacuuming, gardening, raking, things like that. Dancing. Have a dance session with you and your family. Say, hey, we're gonna have a dance session tonight. Dance it out. Dance it out. Dance it out. Get that music pumping. Dance for 30 minutes. That can get it going. So that's increasing your activity. Things like park farther from you going to the store, park farther, do steps, ups and downs. And I understand if you don't want to do steps up, because sometimes my knees get to me. So I'll go do steps down readily all the time without a problem. Okay? So remember that. That's activity. Of course, they say sex. But believe it or not, I was looking at that certain positions of sex for those people. Google it to see which ones actually expend more energy or not, certain things, okay? So you want to improve your quality of your lifestyle by also having your blood pressure under control. So hypertension and diabetes run hand in hand, unfortunately. So having your blood pressure under control. So one of the things I say is know your numbers. So one of the things as far as blood pressure, we like it like between the top number is when your heart is pumping. It's called systolic, between 100 and 120. And the bottom number, we like it between 60 and 80. That's when your heart is resting. So if your numbers are over that, then it is called hypertension. And you need to see a physician regarding it, and they may try lifestyle changes, diet changes, activity changes first, but you also may need to be on medicine. So you need your blood pressure under control for lifestyle modifications. Also, your cholesterol level, total cholesterol. They look at total cholesterol, triglycerides, low cholesterol, low density, which is bad cholesterol, high density, which is the good cholesterol. So if you want your high density to go up, you exercise more. So the good cholesterol will increase, which is the good cholesterol, if you exercise more. So total cholesterol, they like under 200. If not, you might have to be on some medicine. And all of this, it says keep your weight under control. And if you increase your activity and you do portion controls, remember portion controls are important for the nutrition, it affects your weight. Okay? Also, activity will increase, prevent bone loss or osteoporosis, and you actually gain more energy and improve your blood circulation flow. That will be helpful. Of course, lifestyle modifications for diabetics. Stop smoking. If you smoke, just stop. Just stop. And vaping, no. That has nicotine in it too. It's the nicotine is an addiction that actually wreaks havoc on your blood vessels. So you already have the glucose like chipping away at your blood vessels, and then you have nicotine chipping away at your blood vessels too. That's not helpful at all. That's not helpful at all. So just stop smoking. Just stop. There's different programs for preventions and for stop smoking habits, but you should just stop smoking. Okay. Sleep is very important when it comes to diabetes. And you're like, how is that important to my diabetes? Is sleep? Well, sleep is important because of, if you are sleep deprived, your sleep is out of whack, your circadian rhythms are out of whack, you increase your cortisol level, which is a hormone. Everything's controlled by hormones in your body, nerves, hormones. So your hormones, if you increase your cortisol level, then guess what? You increase that middle section of your body. So people that have what we call the apple form of the body, if you have most of your fat distribution is around your stomach and your waist, and you kind of slim down, that's called the apple distribution. You're more at risk for diabetes and heart disease. And your cortisol level will increase that midsection fat, because that's what it's telling the body to do. So if you're not getting enough sleep, it's going to increase that midsection fat. You get the apple-shaped body type, and that affects you with diabetes. Okay, so that's why you need to get some sleep. In your body, it affects your heart, it affects your mind, your mentality, your energy level. You won't have energy to do the activity. So that's one of the, see how all this playing in together about changing your lifestyle, living the better life. Okay. You need to establish a routine. Remember, I talked about a routine for eating last week. Try to eat at the same time. Otherwise, the ghrelin hormone will start to act up. Same thing with sleep. Make a routine pattern at night where you're actually going to bed at the same time, where you make a routine. You want to remove the electronics from your bedroom. That blue light actually will gets that mind stimulated. You're trying to calm down. So you want to calm down at night, have some teas, do some reading, candles, scents, things like that, or the plug-ins. Those are things. Make your room should be your sanctuary. Your room should be a calming effect area where you can go there and just peacefully relax. You got to let that mind relax and that body relax and that heart relax. And then it's like it's at peace. And that way, you're not increasing your cortisol level. And that does affect your sugar levels. It affects your sugar levels. So that's very helpful. So stress. How is the stress in your life? Decreasing the stress in your life. Stress will also increase the cortisol levels and other hormones like adrenaline to keep your heart pumping and your sugar levels up. So that's just the natural body effect. It's like back, that's the way God made us. It was like, the fight or flight. Oh, I got to get it. I either got to run from this person or I got to fight them off. So that's when you're excited and keep things up, and that increases your sugar level. So you keep your sugar level up because you feel like you're always fighting. You're always in a fight mode. That's why you need to relax and reduce your stress. So with our lifestyle, you got to find a way to reduce your stress. So some ways of stress reduction is, of course, therapy. You can talk to people about it, have even if it's just that person that you can trust, a girlfriend you need to call every day, a family member you need to call every day, someone that's going to reduce your stress. Other people have things like massages and spas and other physical things to reduce their stress and they make it a routine. Once again, routine is good. The rebel hear me saying routine is good. Routine is good. Some music calm down. Even if you get in the car and you just like turn it up and jam, and sometimes that relaxes people. Okay, see people roll around, and sometimes I would get in the car and just, most cities have loops around the city. Sometimes I'll just drive around that loop a couple times because my mind rests and thinks as I'm driving. Of course, it's not during rush hour time because that would be more stressful, right? And things like that. Time management would definitely reduce your stress. If you know you are someone that's always running late and don't have things planned, plan it out. Make lists, planning things out, have meals prepared the night before, have lunch boxes prepared the night before the children. Like you get up in the morning and they're running, get dressed here, make lunch here, run this, let's do this, come on, let's go. Have things planned out, clothes laid out, or your clothes planned out, what you plan to wear. You have a meeting, plan your clothes out, plan your shoes out, have them in the car. If you know that it snowed the night before, you need to add 10 minutes or 15 minutes to clean off your car. So sometimes planning ahead of time and that time management will reduce that stress, and then you're not in that situation like you're always running behind. You're trying to get the child to school at a certain time. So meal planning, laying out clothes, making lists, and then also some of the caregivers out there or homemakers or mom, delegation reduce your stress. Like the simple thing of Instacart and ship and having picking your groceries out online and having them delivered now instead of having to go to the grocery store. For the rest of the week, your meals. On Monday, you're going to have spaghetti, and Tuesday, you're going to have the meatloaf, and Wednesday, you're going to have whatever. Have your meals plans, and you know what you need and stock in your refrigerator or pantry, and order it online and have it delivered to your house. Your cleaners deliver things online, things like that. Sometimes you need to delegate if you're working, the husband working, the spouse working, or you're single parent, single fathers out there too. If you need to make those appointments if you're a single father with girls and you need to make appointments to have the hair done, please make those appointments. That reduces your stress so that things are moving along. So time management and planning. Nature, get out and do some walking, enjoy the nature. I know some people are in a cold area, but some people love walking in the snow or just walking in the snow and making a snowball and hitting it against a wall or something like that. Enjoy nature. I try to do that when I travel. I definitely get out in my destination, and I'll show you the water in a minute, and see nature. Let nature speak to you and let it calm you down and reduce your stress. Other people use yoga and meditation. Meditation can be as simple as breathing exercises, learning some breathing exercises. Breathe in for 30 seconds, breathe out, and do that like 2 or 3 times. Other people have meditations where they have affirmations, 10 or 15 minutes in solitude. One of the exercises of meditation is breathing exercises and then feeling your body from the top of your head to your toes. And then you're just like, okay, what does my head feel like? What does my eyes feel like? What do my ears feel like? What does my nose, my mouth, my chin, my neck, my chest, my arms, my fingers, and just go all the way down your body. That in itself kind of like releases your, feel what your body is feeling and releasing it. That's a meditation exercise you can easily do. So those are stress reduction. Of course, exercise, people say, is a stress reduction. And hobbies, pick a hobby. Whether it's reading or gardening or putting a jigsaw puzzle together, sitting there. So find a hobby that makes you soothing, relaxes you, and don't overstimulate you to reduce your stress. Okay. So remember to take time for yourself. Eat regular meals, no skipping, no rushing, nutrition, portion control, some activity. Remember, 30 minutes a day, vigorous activity, or 1 hour cardiac 3 times a week, 10,000 steps a day, and make sure you're staying hydrated and drinking your water. Getting your sleep, restful sleep, 7 to 8 hours for an adult. More for school-age children. Most school-age children should be having 10 to 12 hours a day of sleep. And that's why they have shown that some children are not very productive at school because they're tired and they're falling asleep. But adults, 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day. Remember to just take care of yourself too. So those are all lifestyle modifications to reduce your sugar level, to maintain your glucose level, to maintain your diabetes, and it's also for hypertension and heart disease. So as a physician, what I do is lifestyle modification coaching. So that's the one, that's my passion, especially with diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. And I really want to see people. It's not a life. It's not a sentence where you feel like you cannot live anymore. And I don't want you to feel like if you're diagnosed with diabetes or if you're diagnosed with hypertension, you cannot live, because you can live. You still can enjoy your life. You can still live your best life. And it's about lifestyle modification. So I do have a coaching class, it's called a 6 weeks coaching course on lifestyle modifications, where it's a one-on-one session with me, and just some of the things I talked about. We go a little bit more in depth than I've talked about, but we definitely go over your numbers, go over your life, and things that can be changed for you, and it's actually for you, because I could say something works for me and change for me, and that doesn't work for you. And that makes a difference for people. We go over that. We go over the nutrition. We talk about shopping at grocery stores, eating out. We talked about other things like sleep and stress reduction, but it's according to your lifestyle. So I do have a 6-week coaching course on lifestyle modification for diabetes and hypertension. So if you feel that you would like to work with me, feel free to contact me, and I will put it in the title. I'm at Dr. Yvette at YvetteMcQueenMD.com. That's Dr. Yvette, DRYVETTE at YvetteMcQueenMD.com. And we actually have a discovery session, a free 15-minute discovery session, to see if that's something that you would like to do, to have the 6-week course, a 101, 6 weeks, once a week with a doctor. Yeah, we can help you out. And we work on lifestyle modifications to help you with your diabetes and hypertension, heart disease. I would like to help everybody out, but one-on-one, contact me. How's that? Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the November Diabetes Awareness Month, where you learned about the diabetes, what diabetes is. Remember, have your hemoglobin A1C checked. If you don't think you have diabetes, make sure it's under 5.7. 5.7 to 6.4 is pre-diabetes. And these lifestyle modifications will change this. So if you are in pre-diabetes, it's actually lifestyle modification is the best thing you should do immediately before you start medication. And of course, if you're over 6.4, you are considered diabetic. And there's there's different types, type 1, type 2, and you can have a gestational while you pregnant, which actually increase you more at risk for type 2. So we talked about nutrition and lifestyle and management, and I hope all of this was helpful and effective. And join me next month. I'll see what the December Awareness Month is, and we'll talk about that. But it will be on Saturday afternoons at 5 o'clock p.m., the medical chat room with Dr. Yvette. Today is a recording and not live. Sorry about that, but technical difficulties, but I still got the information out to you. So you can find me on all social media at Dr. Yvette. All social media, Yvette McQueen MD, and of course my website is YvetteMcQueenMD.com. So live well, stay well. Ciao for now. Peace.